Hey there booktube, welcome back to my channel and welcome to day 2 of Vlogmas, where I'm attempting to post a video every day in December. Today I'm going to tell you about the books I read in November. I tried out a lot of books last month. It was nonfiction November and I started a lot more books than I finished. At the end of the month, I had finished 8 books, 3 fiction and 5 nonfiction. I'm doing a buddy read with Kay and we're going through the Elena Ferrante's Neapolitan novels. We started in November. We got through the first 2 books already, My Brilliant Friend and The Story of a New Name. If you're one of the 10 or so other people who haven't read these novels, let me just tell you, it's a complex story of friendship and obsession, and it's Bildungsroman genre, so the narrator is a 60-year-old woman when we meet her. Her friend is missing, and she decides to tell us the story of their entire lives and the complicated feelings of jealousy and reverence that they feel for each other. I gave both of these 4 stars. I also read The Buddha in the Attic, which tells the story of Japanese women who come to the United States as mail-order brides and about the experiences that they had in the country, moving from disappointment to their husbands and family life to the disappointment in their adopted home and government when many of them were taken from their homes under suspicion of treason during World War II. This was a 5-star read. For nonfiction November, I finished 5 nonfiction books, and eventually I hope to finish all the others that I started, but more on those later. First, I read Born for This, which is Chris Guillebeau's advice for people who are dissatisfied with their jobs and want to become entrepreneurs. It was a good read, and not just because it included drawings and random advice like how to win at tic-tac-toe. A lot of the advice is pretty common in books of this genre, but the author also shared some useful tips. I read When Breath Becomes Air, which was Paul Kalanithe's memoir, written while he was battling lung cancer that eventually killed him before he finished the book. There are no spoilers, this is general information. As a young man though, Paul Kalanithi was interested in literature and science, so the writing is poetic and beautiful. But it's his philosophical thought that really drew me in, and his description of science from his background as a neurosurgeon really kept my interest. This one is another 5-star read for sure, and this was my pick for substance. Stephen Greenblatt's The Rise and Fall of Adam and Eve was another one that I finished in November. This one compares the story of the biblical first couple with other similar stories from other cultures. And Greenblatt references literature and art to give a very scholarly look at human history and our place in it. This was my pick for home because the crux of the story of Adam and Eve takes place when they're evicted from their home in paradise. And I gave Rise and Fall 4 stars because while I didn't agree with everything the author said, for sure, I definitely came away from reading this book with a new perspective. How to Read and Why by Harold Bloom was advice from a famous reader on how to get the most out of books, how to understand them better, but most importantly, how to enjoy them more. Bloom is the ultimate Shakespeare fan, and so everything he says in this book is peppered with compliments to the bard. But within these pages, there's also good advice, and he breaks down the 4 different types of fiction and makes them all very accessible. This was my pick for scholarship, and I gave it 4 stars as well. Bird by Bird is Anne Lamont's thoughts on writing, the place it has had in her life, and her advice for other writers. Reading this one felt very personal because she touches on topics that I've dealt with myself. Like she says, if you find yourself starting a slew of stories and not finishing them, it might be because you aren't passionate about the subject. Her advice, write about what means the most to you. This one was my pick for the love category because writing is one of the things that I love, and I gave this one 4 stars. And so that's it. 8 books for a total of just over 2,400 pages this month. Not quite as much as other months, but I did get to the 100 book mark in November, which means I'm on track to meeting my reading goals for 2017. But best of all, most of what I read in November I really enjoyed, and that's the most important thing, right? So thanks for watching. Thanks for being here for day 2 of Vlogmas. Leave me a comment if you've read any of these books and you want to chat about them. And until next time, happy reading. Bye!